Hello, neighbors. Pretty short agenda for tomorrow. Bear with me. I'm not feeling super great right now, so this is probably going to be kind of short and sweet tonight. But I will, as I have been doing, go over a few important upcoming dates for events or civic engagement opportunities. So tomorrow, May the 5th, is our primary election in Hamilton County for county races. In our district, particularly in Red Bank, we don't have any races that are going to be decided by the primary as far as District 6 representation. There were 2 Republicans running for criminal court clerk, and that was the only contested primary race that you could vote in. But like I said, as far as District 6 representation, both of the Republican and Democratic candidates and independent candidates will be on the regular ballot in August, that first Thursday in August. So, but please, if you haven't voted, please get out and vote. I know there's not a lot of choices right now, particularly for us in Red Bank in this district, but I think it's important to just keep an established history of voting. I think it's important to vote because you are able to and other people aren't. So please just consider getting out to vote. You do have to vote at your designated precinct tomorrow, since it is election day, which they all should be open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So just keep an eye out for, you have plenty of flexibility in the time frame tomorrow to get out and vote if you haven't already. So hope you will do that. May the 6th, this Wednesday, at 5 p.m., the Hamilton County Commission, among other things, is scheduled to vote on disposing of the Business Development Center at 100 Cherokee Boulevard. This is Resolution 526-10. You guys have heard me talking about this. I've been posting about it, sharing other things that other people are posting about it. Unfortunately, I have another commitment at our school, and so I will be unable to attend, but please show up. County Mayor Weston Wamp is trying to sell off our business incubator, a small business incubator, and it is not going to be replaced like they say it's going to be replaced, and there's also no plan. There's no data, there's nothing. They're just trying to offload it to make a few bucks, in my opinion, in the short term, which is going to mess us up in the long term, because our small business incubator has, seen a great amount of success. It's supporting small businesses in Hamilton County and the Chattanooga area and the greater area, really. And so it's really important if you guys can show up for this meeting and just make your voice heard. I think our county mayor said that nobody listens to anybody at these things. That doesn't change the fact that you should show up and make your voices heard. If you can't show up to the meeting at 5 p.m. this Wednesday to champion the Small Business Development Center, I would encourage you to send an email to your county commissioner and or all county commissioners and the mayor, letting them know what you think about this. Really important, guys. Really, really important. I'm really very sad that I can't be there, but this is a commitment that I have had scheduled for some time. Fun times this Friday. We have a Food Truck Friday event here in Red Bank, 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. Next Tuesday, May the 12th, we have our budget town hall. This is going to be held at the community center, the Red Bank Community Center, and we're going to have storyboards up. Staff are going to be present to answer questions. There will be a citizen comment period. It's not going to be set up like we're going to be at the front of the room answering questions or things like this. This is more oriented toward getting clarity around, budget proposals from each of the departments and the department heads and their staff who are going to be present at the town hall. So please, please, please attend that meeting. Like I said, that's at 5 o'clock at the community center. And then May the 16th, Dirty Jane's is having their rescheduled spring flea from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we are also hosting our annual Earth Day cleanup that had to be rescheduled due to inclement weather from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So I hope that you guys will join us and then get out and support local businesses and vendors. Our first item of business, before I say that, we are meeting at 4:30 p.m. tomorrow. So instead of our normal 5 o'clock work session time, we are meeting at 4:30. We're going to first get a brief presentation on our fiscal health metrics from our CFO, Chris Pickle. In case you didn't see, the city shared a graphic that came from the Comptroller's website. It is from a new fiscal health metric dashboard that they have expanded to include municipalities now. So this has been on the Comptroller's website for counties, but not for municipalities until this year. So she'll just be going over those metrics, those data points, what they mean in reference to us and our general fund and, debt service to revenue, comparisons and all those kinds of things. So if you're interested in that, tune into the work session because it's just a presentation, no vote. And then the main reason we're starting at 4:30 is because the second item is open discussion by the City Commission on the budget estimate. So we got this estimate or this proposal presented to us last Tuesday at our meeting. This is it. You can go to our website, the redbanktn.gov, and if you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see some buttons, and there's a button that says budget. If you click that button, it is going to bring up all of these documents that you can look through. And there's a ton. It's going to have the budget. It's going to have the fiscal year 27 budget questions and answers. So it goes through each department and talks about like the different line items and, maybe the one-time expenditure requests and personnel increases and all those kinds of things. And then, there's information, there's a narrative in there about our capital improvement plan, which was just presented on. There's a, a note, a 2-page memo from our, three-page memo from our city manager on the budget estimate and highlights some of the major points of major items that are included in this year's budget. And then there's all kinds of other memos from each of the departments on their presentations for the budget. And also our capital improvement plan presentation. There's lots of stuff, guys. So I would appreciate it if you would inform yourself on those things before maybe giving comments or asking questions, just so you have a full picture of what the conversation is about. Like I said, we are having the budget town hall next Tuesday at 5 o'clock at the Red Bank Community Center. And if you haven't been able to take time to look at that information, you'll get very broad highlights, and then you'll be able to ask staff all the questions that you have, and then all the commissioners will be present as well. So we'll be talking about all these things that we have kind of been discussing so far that have been presented to us. If anybody on the commission has certain questions about things or concerns about certain budgeted line items or whatever, that will be talked about initially on Tuesday. And then, we are scheduled to have our first vote on the budget on May 19th. Our city manager did propose a 16-cent tax increase this year with an estimated use of fund balance of around $800,000. We do have those revenues in our general fund to draw down from, and doing so would still leave us with more than 6 months of operating and personnel expenses, which the state comptroller only requires 3 months. 6+ months is above and beyond, and it's really where all of us and our CFO feel comfortable staying at. So it would draw down some fund balance, and then we would be splitting a tax increase between this year and next year of 16 cents each year. Because the main comments and feedback that we have heard, and that I personally heard when I knocked doors in 2024, is that people asked if we have to do a tax increase, and we have to keep up with inflation and personnel costs and all these things. They understand, but could we spread it out and do it incrementally? And so that is where this came from the city manager. This was his attempt at spreading this out over a 2-year period, and lessening the burden each year of tax increase. There's all kinds of other factors that we can't account for, assuredly. We don't know what's going to happen if the war in Iran is going to go forever and ever, and gas prices are going to be $5-6 again. We just don't know. And we also, we don't know, in Red Bank, what kinds of new businesses are going to crop up in the next couple of years, what kinds of new residential developments might crop up that will help lessen the property tax burden across the board. And we can't anticipate those things until there's kind of an end in sight. So we're doing the best we can with the information that we have right now. But I would love for you guys to show up, like I said, next Tuesday, ask questions at the town hall, show up to our meeting tomorrow and ask questions. There will be an opportunity for citizen comments at the end of our work session after we have our open discussion, and then always opportunity for comments at the end of the regular meeting on any item that's not on the agenda. And the budget is not on the agenda. So if you show up late, and you want to give comments or ask questions at the end, there will be 2 opportunities to do that tomorrow. So yeah, that's the big topic. That's what we're doing right now. I would love to see you guys come out and share in this budget process with us. Item 3 is to approve a contract for a communications specialist, Bridgett Raper, in an amount not to exceed $11,600. So we've been working with Bridgett for several years through the Small Cities Coalition. That is basically disbanding at the end of this year. Bridgett is retiring from full-time work, and we have already passed a resolution where we're withdrawing from the Small Cities Coalition and kind of going to try to network differently with our local delegates and other electeds in the area and other city managers in the area. But Bridgett has been instrumental in helping us with PR and press releases, and she has a massive network of media contacts. So that amount is just up to that amount. She doesn't have set hours or anything like that. It would just be one-offs when as our public relations specialist transitions more into that role over this next year and is learning the ropes of some of those things. Bridgett will be there to kind of help fill those gaps as Summer is beefing up her skill set. Item 4 is approving the purchase of 4 apparatus bay doors at Fire Station number 2 in the amount of $47,250. That's going to be using ARPA funds, our grant funds. We allocated those for facilities improvements. We have to spend them by December 31, 2026. So our facilities manager, Justin Hendrick, is doing a great job of just tackling those big things that we know that need to be done, and helps remove those kinds of purchases from future capital improvement, a future capital improvement plan. So we go ahead and replace those things, and then we know we have them there for 20 or so years. And the final item is the purchase of a utility vehicle for our facilities division, also using ARPA funds. It is an allowable expense. It's around $59,000. It was included in the capital improvement plan for fiscal year 29, so 2 years from now. But there was an opportunity with the remaining ARPA funds that we have to go ahead and make that purchase now, and then that way we can roll that off of the CIP, and then we have bandwidth to add something else over the next couple of years, because we never know what kind of projects might come up or what kind of grant opportunities might come up where we can add a new project. So that's it, guys. Pretty short agenda. Like I said, the main part is going to be during the work session when we're having our open discussion of the budget, and it is our first open discussion. So I hope you'll either tune in or show up 4:30 p.m. at our city courtroom, and that's it. If you guys have questions, comments, concerns, you know where to find me. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow night.